Good evening, everyone. This is Devata Patil, live from Mumbai. And I welcome all of you who have taken time out of their busy schedule and are taking efforts to listen to me. This is really a great moment. Uh, Let me just, before I start with my talk, I would like to tell you that I would like to thank Archana Jain and Rabia Patel for inviting me for this talk show. And of course, Archana and Rabia are brainchild behind the India Brainy Beauty 2021. I'm associated with India Brainy Beauty since last year as a jury member, and it was a fabulous experience to be, part of this team. This team of power-packed women, superwoman is fantastic to work with, and India Brainy Beauty is a brainchild of these two women. And the unique thing about this beauty pageant is that there's age no bar, caste no bar, language no bar. Uh, there's no kind of inhibition. You don't have to have any kind of inhibition in your mind to participate in this beauty pageant. Just it's about being beautiful. It's not about looking beautiful, and that's, I think, one of the unique things of this pageant, because all of the pageants, talk about the outer beauty, but this particular pageant also talks about inner beauty. So it's not about outer beauty only, it's about being beautiful. And therefore this term being, somewhere acknowledges your presence, your physical presence, your presence as a human, your you as a human, it is respected. And that therefore I think you should, participate. I'm sure all of you have, registered yourself for this. If you have not, then the second round of auditions is going on 20th February, and the grand finale will be happening at St. Regis, the same place where, Bombay Times Fashion Week happened. So I'm looking forward to be part of the grand finale. And if you want to be part of the grand finale, don't forget to, register on www.indiabrainybeauty.com. As part of IBB initiatives, Archana and Rabia do a lot of social work, and they also have talk show series. So this particular one is part of that, and I'm glad that I'm here to share my views with you all. It's not a talk thing. I'm rather here to, share my own life experiences with you. I have planned, series of short stories for you. So I would, whatever point I want to discuss, I would like to, share it in the context of a small story. So here I am. The topic for today is how to be in better control of your life. Uh, Before we talk about the topic, let me, throw certain questions at you. Do you really want to control your life? Can you really control your life? And if at all you want to control, whom do you want to control your life? Or whether you yourself want to control your life? How do you define life? How do you define control? How do you look at uh, being controlled? So we need to understand all these aspects. And I would like to share a small story with you all. I'm sure some of you have heard about this from your grandmothers or grandfathers. There's a small in a small zoo where a big, huge elephant was, tied up with a small rope. And one of the visitors came and he happened to, talk to the elephant owner that this is such a small rope, and why don't you just, I mean, it's so easy for the elephant to break that rope and elope. I mean, run away. Do you think it is safe to, tie him with with such a small rope? To which, he said the elephant will never try to break the rope, because since childhood, since the elephant was baby, he was tied with the same rope, and over the years, it is in his mind that he cannot break this rope, and therefore he will never try, and he has never tried to break that rope. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you want to, control your life, you need to understand who is controlling your life. If somewhere you have this feeling that someone else is controlling my life, then you will never be able to break that rope, and you will never be able to get out of your that control. So if you yourself want to have a control of your life, then you need to understand what is the locus of your control. Okay, what do you mean by locus of your control? I have a small picture. I would like to share it with you. If it is visible to you, yeah. you'll see that there are two types of controls. Here, here, it is intrinsic control and extrinsic control. That means, how do you want to be controlled? In this particular image, the control is internal locus. And in this particular image, it is external locus of control. So when you make things happen, that means you yourself make things happen, you are your control type is internal locus control, which means I make things happen, I can determine my future, look what I can do. These kind of feelings when you have, that means that you are this type category of person. Whereas the other person, other type is, there is nothing I can do about my future. Why does everything happen to me only? Why bother? Forget about it. So that is external locus of the control. That is things happening to you. So you'll see the arrows are moving out, and here the arrows are moving in. So why I'm sharing this image with you is that, how do you want to control your life? Whether you yourself want to take over the control of your life, then you are in the internal locus of control. But if you want others to control your life, then it will be external locus of control. Now, if you want to take initiatives to control your life and be in better calmed state of mind, then you have to stop others, all those others who are taking control of you, and you have to bring that external locus to internal locus. That is precisely when you'll be able to look at things in a better manner. If I have to give example, since it is pandemic is over and now slowly things are getting back to normal, uh, uh, internal, those who have internal locus control are the ones who would wear the face mask, are the ones who would sanitize their hands properly, follow the rules, because they feel that somewhere, I am responsible for my being, and I should take control of my own health. Whereas the other category people would be, more interested in blaming it on the government, blaming it on the people around them, and let them take control of my own status. So the second point that I would like to, the tip rather, would like to share with you is, have positive company. I'm not sharing any out of box thinking with you, or I'm not sharing out of box experiences with you. These, all of us are aware of these small little things. It's not that have positive company is such a cliche statement, but trust me, it really matters a lot to have a positive company. um, I'll just share a small short story where in a deep well, there were two frogs which fell down in that well, and it was a deep well. And all the other frogs who were walking with them were, they realized that two frogs have fallen down, and they were just trying to shout at them that, don't go, I mean, you're gone, you're doomed, and you'll never be able to come out of this deep well. I think you should not even try. Such things were constantly told to them by the other frogs which were out of that well. Eventually, one of the frog gave up and he died. But the second frog didn't give up, and he kept jumping till he succeeded. So then eventually, after many attempts, he came out, and others were like, yeah, how did you do that? And we were saying that it is impossible. How did you do that? It was found out that later that second frog who jumped out was a deaf frog. So which means he was not listening to what people were saying, and he responded that, I thought all of you are encouraging me and motivating me and boosting me to come out of, you're cheering me to come out of this wall, and I took that as motivation, and that motivated me to jump out of the wall. So this is very important to have, a company of positive people, because positive people bring positivity in your life. Negative people obviously absorb all your energy. So be in the company of good people, positive people, affirmative people. I know you can't get away with negative people in life, but at least you can minimize their presence and their interference in your life. So that is the least you can do about it. The third point that I would like to share is, come out of your fear one at a time. all of us live with this. We have these strange. Uh, we are scared of things around us. We have this fear in us about a lot of things. Maybe whether I'll fail or I'll succeed, or whether I should do it or whether I should not do it. Every time you take a decision, there's some kind of nervousness, anxiety, fear in our minds. We need to come out of it. It's not about only participating or being confident. I'm talking about in general, about life also. In your day-to-day experiences, we carry a lot of fear in us. uh, One thing I would like to say is that do not deal with all the fears at a time. You should deal one at a time. So just think about, sit calmly and say that, okay, today I'm going to plan this, and I will try to overcome my X fear. So once you overcome your X fear, then you try to focus on Y fear, and then Z fear, and likewise. Obviously, I mean, you need a step-by-step approach to overcome the fear. So don't, get everything served on your plate at once, and then you're in tension that how do I finish it. So one fear at a time. Deal with your fear every day. Learn to confront it. Learn new things one at a time. Again, don't be very ambitious, and don't think that you will be multitasking. I mean, a lot of people say that, oh, I am a good multitasker, but I somehow believe that multitasking doesn't exist. Too many things you can't handle at time. I mean, even if you have 5 things on your platter, you can deal with one at a time only. So you may have 5 open files, on your computer desktop, but you're not working on all open files at a time. You're working at one open file at a time. So realize that. So even though you have 5 open files on your desktop, just focus on one, finish it, then go to the next, finish it, then go to the next. This is the best way of um, managing your course, and managing your life. So do that, and obviously learn new things every day. Plan whatever. All of us have hidden desires, or things that we have a wish list, bucket list. So we always feel that we will one day fulfill this bucket list. But rather than waiting for that one day, pick out one from your bucket list, keep act upon it, work towards it, and one after the other, your bucket list will be in control, control, and it will be fulfilled. Next step is manage your emotions and belief. It's very important that you manage your emotions, because and I know it is very easy for me to say that, oh, you should control your emotions and you should control your belief. But trust me, with little practice and with little focus, we can do that. Once you are able to manage your emotions, once you are able to manage your, a lot of emotions, extreme emotions. It can be anger, it can be love, it can be uh, uh, disbelief, or it can be distress, any feeling, frustration, irritation, embarrassment, any kind of emotion. We all deal with these emotions in our day-to-day life. I mean, we can't get away with these emotions, right? We are human beings. So we do deal with these emotions on a daily basis. Uh, I would say that if not get away with it, try to control your emotions. Um, People say that you have to count till 10, and then control your emotions. I'll share one small story. Again, there was this boy who was very angry and who used to get super frustrated with things around him. And his father told him that, why don't you just do one thing? You just go and hammer. I mean, with a hammer, nail one nail in the fence. Whenever you are angry, जब भी आप गुस्सा होते हो, एक काम करो, एक कील ले लो और उस फेंस पे जाके ठोक देना. पहले दिन he started with 37 nails, and then eventually he realized that the anger level started dropping down, and he realized that now I am no longer getting angry. So he went back and he told his father, now I no longer feel angry, and today was the day when I didn't get angry at all. So his father said, now do one thing. On the days when you are not feeling angry, just start removing one nail after the other. And he started doing it. Eventually, all the nails which were nailed in the fence were removed. But what happened was, in that fence there were a lot of holes. You know, however you try to control your anger or emotions, or when you are showing extreme emotional side, you need to also understand that even after you come over it, there will be scars left, especially when you are angry. So try to control that as well. Next tip is check your intuition. You know, all of us have these intuitions. It's not that only few people are good at intuition and others are not. It's a myth. All of us have our intuitions, and there's a gut feeling in all of us which keeps asking us to do certain things and stop us from doing certain things. uh, if you get that intuition, listen to that intuition. Don't ignore it. you know if your heart says that I should not be doing it, think over it, sit back, and just focus and understand why my heart is saying not to do it or to do it. So don't ignore your intuition. That's the next tip I would like to do. But then while you are doing that, do not confuse intuition with biases and prejudice. So whenever you're choosing that, okay, I should be doing it or I should not be doing it, when the decisions are taken, do not have your own earlier thought process to affect your intuition. So if your intuition says this person is good and I should make friendship with this person, go for it. But somewhere in your back of mind you have this intuition, or you have this bias that people belonging to this particular geographical region are should be avoided, friendship should be avoided with these kind of people. Then your bias is affecting your intuition. So don't let that happen. You'll be in a better control of your relationships. Then you have simple tips like don't procrastinate, don't get obsessed by over details. All of us have this habit. You need to understand that if I have 10 things on my plate, uh, I mean, obviously I have to do it, I have to act upon it, but do not procrastinate, do not wait till the deadline, and then you are just running over things. And secondly, do not be obsessed with micromanagement. A lot of us have this feeling. Even I had this habit. Slowly I've overcome this habit of micromanaging things, because what happens is that you end up spending a lot of energy on things which are not needed that kind of attention. Not all the things in your to-do list need micro detailing. Certain things can get away with just a little bit of concentration. You don't have to spend a lot of energy in everything that is offered to you, because this way what will happen is you will end up doing only one task per day, and you will be also investing a lot of energy which otherwise you can utilize in other activities. So do not be obsessed with my micro details, or work excessively during the process. So keep your energy restored, save your energy for other tasks. It should not happen that you have 10 tasks and you put entire energy in one task, and then the remaining 9, you're like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, I'm just totally exhausted. So that feeling should not come. Don't exhaust yourself, don't overexert yourself, rather keep the energy intact. Next step is learn to say no. You know, this is an art which, again, I have learned over the years. Even I had a very bad habit of saying yes to everything, and saying yes to because sometimes it is compulsion. Sometimes I feel that the other person will feel bad, or sometimes you just don't want to do the damage to the relationship, to the activity, or to whatever is in your hand, and you tend to say yes to everything. Eventually what will happen is you will be saying yes to a lot of things which you're not able to control, or you're not able to complete. You, as a human being, we all have restrictions, we all have limitations, and we can't do everything in one day, right? So if you can do 10 tasks in one day, and you say yes to the 11th task, obviously you will not be able to complete that 11th task, because you are not programmed to do that. You can complete 10, or fine, at the max you can stretch yourself and complete that 11th task, but you are again saying yes to the 12th task, and the list goes on. So eventually there will be piling of undone things, because you won't be able to finish it on one day. So two of the previous day things get piled up on the next day, and next day again you have 10 tasks. So 10 plus 2, 12, and you say yes, keep on saying yes to everything. So the list of to do things will keep on increasing, and you will never be able to finish them. So please understand and realize the importance of saying no to people. But that doesn't mean that you have to be rude to people and say, no, I don't want to do it. No, you can be polite, you can be calmly, you can say no to them, and you have to be fair, and you have to be just to yourself, in saying whether you can actually do it or not. A lot of times, people come up with invitations and ask me to be part of any like I'm here today. When I know that I am not an expert on that topic, I tend to say no to those. You can't be expert on everything. So somebody just last week asked me to give a lecture on school children and education policy and all that. I said, look, I'm a professor in university. I'm not a school teacher, or I don't have first-hand experience about school education system. I don't think so that I'm a good person. I'm a good speaker for this kind of topic. Why don't you just do one thing? Speak to X person. So I redirected that person to somebody who has better knowledge and who will be able to deliver better in that particular topic. So these are certain things of nudging and saying no in a very polite manner. So you don't have to be rude when you are saying no. Next thing which I would like to highlight is now being a woman and all those beautiful women out there. We all have this habit of completing tasks for others. In this case, I'm talking about the family members. We tend to take responsibility for every family member in our family. For the kids, for husband, for in-laws, for the maid, and God knows all types of people. We tend to complete tasks for them, and we feel that we are responsible for everything which our family members are doing. I think we should stop doing it. Let every member of the family contribute, because it is a family. It is not you as an individual whose responsibility is to maintain the family structure. Every member of the family is equally responsible. So let every individual understand their responsibility, rather than you filling the gap for them. So let me just give you one small example. Um, Maybe you all of you have this habit of uh, reminding your husband or your children, pani ki bottle li kya, rumal liya kya, handkerchief liya kya, tiffin liya kya, इसको फोन करना था, दूध वाले का बिल दिया क्या, लाइट का बिल भरा क्या, बच्चों को आप कह रहे हो खाना खाया क्या. We do these things. Eventually what will happen is all your people around you, and not only for family members, don't do it for others also. Eventually these people will be dependent on you. They will rely on you, and you will become their reminder clock, because they themselves would not want to challenge their mind and keep reminding themselves that I have to pick up water bottle, I have to pick up tiffin and stuff like that, because they know that, okay, my wife will take care of this, or my mother will take care of this, or my bahu will take care of this. This happens, right? Don't do that. Let even children, even if they are younger ones. Mine is a 9-year-old, so I let her take responsibility. Let her face consequences for the wrong decisions the person is doing. In case my child, I let her do that, or your husband, or your in-laws, whatever. For if I am taking a wrong decision, I will have to pay for it, and that will be a good learning for people around you. So don't be the filler for them. Then, most important is communicate and not assume. It's very important. A lot of times we don't communicate. We just assume that the other person is behaving like this because of A. The other person doesn't want to talk to me. The other person doesn't like me, or the other person likes me. Whatever. It can be positive feeling or it can be a negative feeling. But most of the times it is a negative feeling, and we just tend to get burdened with these spiral of thoughts, negative thoughts. Do not assume, communicate. So a small incident, I mean, of course, I read it on WhatsApp, where when the housewife was, whenever she used to prepare upma for her family, she used to serve the hot one, obviously garam garam upma सबको serve करती थी, और लास्ट में जो उपमा बचता था कढ़ाई में जो लगा हुआ रहता है, she used to scrape that and eat it for herself. So she did this for many years. One day she got frustrated and she said, why should I eat the last leftover? मैं ही हमेशा ठंडा उपमा क्यों खाऊं, और मैं ही हमेशा वो लास्ट का बचा हुआ जो उपमा है वो क्यों खाऊं. So one day she decided to do the reverse of it. She ate fresh hot upma, और आखिर का जो leftover था, she gave it to her husband. And that day, husband said, "This is the best upma I've ever had till date." And she was surprised. She said, "How come? I mean, this is the leftover." So he said, "As a child, I always enjoyed eating leftover upma, and this is my favorite. But you never gave this leftover kadhai ka scraped upma to me, and you used to give the fresh one. But since you used to give it to me itne pyar se, so I used to eat it." Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that, because she assumed a lot of things for all her life, she had to eat leftover upma, and her husband had to eat the fresh upma, wherein the reverse of it would have, made both of them very happy. So don't assume, communicate your feelings. Treat yourself the way you would treat a guest. You have guests at a house. How do you treat your guest? You want to make them feel special, and do a lot of things for them. Sometimes over the weekend, dedicate one day for yourself and treat yourself the way you would treat your guest. It's a good feeling, trust me. So leisure time, taking yourself, some time for yourself is also very important. The me time is very important. So always have your me time, ready. We tend to get lost in a lot of responsibilities and around us, and we don't pay attention to ourselves. So have your me time, and when you're saying you're having your me time, ensure that you are enjoying it to the fullest. You are not letting others intervene in your me time. This will refresh and rejuvenate you. One last story I would like to share for this is, once a farmer lost his watch, and that watch was his father's watch, so it was a precious watch for him. And in the hay जंगल, उसके खेती में जो सूखी हुई घास होती है, उसके अंदर वो घड़ी उसकी गुम हो गई. And he tried searching for it, and he was not finding it. Eventually there were some kids playing in the nearby farms. So he called all the kids and he said, why don't you just help me find that watch. Everybody tried. They couldn't find the watch. At the end of the day, kids also lost patience, and then they left. There was one child who was observing all of it. So farmer also gave up कि अब मुझे घड़ी नहीं मिलेगी, भूल जाओ. वो बच्चा उस farmer के पास आया और उसने कहा कि give me one last chance. I think I'll try and search this watch for you. He said, okay. That fellow went. After 5 minutes, he came back with the watch. The farmer said, how come? I mean, we are searching it. पूरा दिन हम ढूंढ रहे हैं, हमें ये घड़ी मिले नहीं, और आपको 5 मिनट में ये घड़ी कैसे मिल गई? So he said, I just went there. I sat there for 5 minutes, and I tried to concentrate to the sound of the watch. और उसकी जो टिक 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 घड़ी की आवाज जो मुझे सुनाई दी शांति में, I just went in that direction and I picked that watch. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you spend some time with yourself, that is the me time. You will be giving some time for your own thought process. You will give some time to identify your needs and wants, and you'll be a more happy person. You'll be more satisfied person about everything that is coming to you. So I would just like to read a couple of lines before I conclude. A peaceful mind can think better than a worked up mind. Allow a few minutes of silence to your mind every day. and see how sharply it helps you to set your life the way you expect it to be. So, to conclude, I would say don't let the locus of control go to external bodies. Let the locus of control come to your inner body internally, and then you will realize the change that is happening in your life. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm sure you have some questions. Maybe you can put it in the comment section after the session. I would try to answer to those questions. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.